If y'all let these TikTokers take chopped and screwed music, man, I'm finna retire. Logic. What up, YouTube? Topaz Yates back for another review, and this one is to that Dave East Karma 3. And before I can jump into this album review, first I gotta give you the context. First I gotta give you the details of everything there is that I like and dislike about Dave East. And if you feel as though you already know all of this, and you already know Dave East, feel free to skip directly to the review. For those of you who are still here, Dave East is easily the best rapper that Nas has put on, even though he signed through Def Jam. He signed to Def Jam through Nas's record label. And not only is he the best rapper, he's also multi-talented because he is a pretty solid actor, as he did his thing in that Wu-Tang and American Saga joint. But here's my thing about Dave East though. He is really limited. Like, he's been in the game for quite some time, and if you've been following him for as long as I've been following him, you all but understand everything that he's capable of coming into this project. Well, if you go back and listen to any number of his 10 plus projects, you can see he's extremely limited in terms of his style, in which his style is really heavily focused on what I dub the hustle bars, where he's doing the same exact thing that you see these Atlanta rappers and stuff do when it comes to trap bars, where it's not about punchlines and artistry, it's more about experience and shooting people in the trap and all of that. He's doing the same thing but more focused on hustling drugs. And from time to time he will give you a super convoluted story as well, where he's giving you more details to a story that he's been talking about for multiple songs, where in this story he's given an individual character maybe like 30 seconds worth of dialogue, but then multiple minutes worth of background story, so you end up losing focus on everything that's going on with the story, and people deem it as super complicated or something, but nah, it's super convoluted. And I can see how a lot of people may be confused if you're new to Dave East. Well, okay, this is clearly only the second album that he's dropped on his mainstream record deal, but yet it's called Karma 3, and that's because, as I said, he got 10 plus projects that he's already done, and just because he got signed now doesn't mean he's going to change the whole script. So it's a bit confusing, but this brings me to this album, Karma 3, where my issue with this is lack of progression, even though he is trying here. Like, he got nothing but features on this joint, and there's a reason why a lot of artists, especially when they've been in the game for so long, do this. Like, they do this so that they can find new inspiration, so that they can try to find the next route in music that they're trying to do, the next best songs that they can make. But the problem is, none of these songs are that. None of these songs are actually a step forward here. It more just comes off as Dave East is trying this, and he spent too much money on it, so he's putting it out, even though it's clearly not a dope song. Take the Unruly track, where that is Dave East trying to combine grimy East Coast rap music with dancehall. Who has done that before? That is unique, and I do believe if they continue to work together to perfect this, that it could create a dope song. But maybe he doesn't have the budget to do so. Maybe he was just trying to get this for just this one slot. Maybe he doesn't see a true future in it, so he just threw together this and put it out there when he should have tried to perfect it. Same thing with Stone Killer, where this is him going out to get Benny the Butcher, and you can tell through the production that this is a true collaboration that they both are coming together to try to do. But is this the perfect collaboration between him and Benny the Butcher? No. But do I think that they can make something dope? Yes, but this clearly wasn't it, and maybe he just didn't have the money or the time or the patience to try to make it into that. Then you got a song like The City, where what he's doing is making an updated version of Jay-Z's The City from the Blueprint album, in which that's a terrible mistake to make, because one, it doesn't matter if you feel as though it's a good rendition and up-to-date version of it. People are never going to like it because people love Jay-Z or the memory of Jay-Z way too much to ever compare your stuff to him. Like, it's best for you to go out here and stand on your own like Nipsey Hussle did when he decided not to play Snoop Dogg in the Straight Outta Compton. He wanted to be himself, but yet you went on ahead and played Method Man, and we're seeing that that is definitely working out for you and all that stuff, but yet you're not standing on your own though. You're making variations of a Jay-Z song, but yet people gonna remember this song as, oh, he's just making the same thing that Jay-Z did, instead of, okay, this is a dope Dave East track. But the project isn't all that bad, because much like Dave East, multiple other projects, he's always good for at least 2 really good songs, and that's exactly what he gives us here. With the Get the Money song, where this is him in his comfort zone of doing nothing but hustle bars, but he's doing it in terms of how Meek Mill does it, where he's trying to inspire you by stunting on you pretty much. And I definitely enjoyed the vibe of the production and the flow that Dave East is definitely bringing to the table. That hook, I'm a little iffy on, because Trouble was sounding a lot like French Montana, but whatever, it's still a pretty cool song. I'm gonna put it on my playlist. And the same thing goes for that Believe It or Not, even though it's all hustle bars here as well. You know, this Dave East hustle bars style, all it is him doing this. You know I was a hustler, right? If I wasn't a hustler, then how do I know that the color of these drugs are this when the drug dealer comes with it? That's all the whole style is. Don't believe me? Let's go ahead and break that down all the way on the next segment, the bars. You know what Dave East reminds me of? Ciroc vs. the Brandy. See, it's brought to you by a mogul. That is by Puff. He's brought to you by Nas. They are both emulating greatness, but yet they both have the flaws, as this Ciroc is trying to emulate what Hennessy is, but anybody who tastes it know that it's not as smooth as what Hennessy is. While Dave East is lacking the lyrical skill set of how he's trying to be presented as the next up from New York, but yet they are both young enough in this game, at least commercially, that they can change the identity and become their own. See, Dave East doesn't have to try to be the next Jay-Z, the next Nas, the next super lyrical individual, because that seems to be insurmountable for him. But yet, he can be the best Dave East, and he can evolve his music and try to take it to the next level. But I really need to see him make some adjustments to his formula for his hustle bars, man. Like, these are my favorite bars off of this joint, man. He got, I'm looking like I'm choking my Patek because it's blue in the face. How he's saying that he been ill, I got my doctor's skill. Or how he said, yo, I seen a book and it looked like a Dreamcast. And that is the exact same format that I just told you. Like, hey, you know how I was a hustler? I seen a brick before. Did you know that it looked like a Dreamcast when it first comes in? But overall, man, the project isn't awful by no means, because he got the skill set. He's actually trying to do something a little different on this one, man. And he gives us the typical of a 2-song out of all of this. And you know, even the bad songs have their moments as well, you dig? I'm not gonna completely crap on it. I'm gonna give this joint a 5 out of 10. One you should go ahead and peep out, get a couple songs for the playlist. But that's really about it.